What's the one thing that can quietly grind a multi-million-dollar manufacturing operation to a halt? It's probably not what you think. It isn't always a machine failure. It's an empty chair. So today we're diving into the huge challenge of finding and keeping skilled machine operators, and why it's less about HR and more about your company's core survival. This quote right here, it just nails it. Think about it. Major operational failures. We're talking serious downtime, bad product runs, even safety incidents. They don't just happen out of nowhere. So often, when you trace it back, it all starts with that one empty seat on the line, that one gap where a skilled operator should be. Okay, so before we even get into the shortage of operators, we really need to get our heads around what we're losing. Why is this one single role so incredibly important? Well, as we're about to see, they're not just a pair of hands. They are the intelligent, critical cog that makes the entire system turn. So here's the official definition. It sounds pretty straightforward, right? But just look at that scope. Setting up, operating, and maintaining. These folks are directly on the hook for the speed of production, the quality of every single item that goes out your door, and the day-to-day health of your machinery. That's a huge responsibility. I love this way of putting it, the operator as a control point. It just completely reframes the role, doesn't it? They aren't just pushing buttons. No way. They are the essential human interface, the brain that translates all that raw mechanical power into a valuable, finished product. They're the mind that guides the machine. So you'd think that if these professionals are so important, they'd be easy to find, right? Well, that brings us to the real problem we're digging into today, a massive and growing hiring crisis that is leaving way too many manufacturers totally scrambling. And that is the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not just some simple labor shortage. The reasons are deep, they're structural, and frankly, they've been building up for years now. Yeah, it's not any one single thing. It's more like a perfect storm. First, you've got a major skills mismatch. Today's machines are basically computers, and they need a totally different skill set. Then, you've got the silver tsunami. A whole generation of experienced operators are retiring, and they're taking all that deep knowledge with them. On top of that, there's less interest in the trades from younger generations, which leads to just insane competition for the few qualified people out there. Now, let's talk about what this gap actually costs. Because an empty spot on the production line isn't just a small headache. It has a direct and often really severe financial and operational impact on the entire business. This really shows you the domino effect perfectly. One empty seat creates a bottleneck. That leads to machine downtime. So maybe you rush to catch up, and that leads to more defects or even damaged equipment. Safety risks go up, and before you know it, you are drowning in overtime costs just trying to tread water. It's a truly vicious cycle. And here's the bottom line, the point that you really have to get. You can pour millions into the most advanced automated systems on the planet, but without a skilled human operator overseeing them, that high-tech asset can flip and become a multi-million-dollar liability faster than you can blink. Okay, we've defined the problem, and the stakes are clearly very high. So, what do we do about it? Let's get into the playbook. What are the real practical strategies that manufacturers can actually use to solve this incredibly complex staffing puzzle? When you boil it down, it really comes down to two main paths. On the one hand, you have direct hiring. This is where you own the whole process, start to finish. It gives you incredible control of your workforce and your company culture in the long run. On the other hand, you've got staffing agencies. Their big advantages are speed and flexibility. They can help you scale up or scale down in a hurry, which, let's be honest, is crucial in today's market. But here's the thing, whether you're hiring directly or you're working with an agency, you still have to know what you're looking for. So this last section is all about giving you a clear blueprint, the anatomy of a truly great operator, to help you figure that out. You can really think of this as your must-have checklist. And it's not just about technical skill. Can they spot those tiny little defects? That's attention to detail. Can they figure out what that weird noise the machine is making means? That's problem solving. And then you have to look beyond the machine. Are they reliable? Are they safe? And maybe most important of all, can they adapt as your technology keeps changing? And this is where it all comes full circle. You see, investing in good staffing isn't an expense. It's an investment with a very clear, very measurable return. Skilled operators lead directly to higher efficiency. A stable team means way lower turnover costs. Proper training gives you better quality products, and a reliable team, that slashes that killer production downtime we talked about right at the beginning. So we'll end with this one big question for you to think about. After everything we've just covered, it's time to take a hard look at your own operations. Because in today's manufacturing world, your approach to finding and keeping machine operators, well, it isn't just part of the business. It might just be the one thing that determines your success or your failure.